Welcome back to our second tutorial of React Native inputs. Today we're gonna learn how to create a input component for React Native. First of all, we're gonna use React Native text input. As you can see, you can visit the React Native website, and a list of properties can be used. For example, placeholder and placeholder text color, which can be found here. Properties. You can use any color for this one, and also we will use the text styles. So let's define our style sheet for the input component. Basically, we will add a default style for our text input component. We're gonna use the background color, border radius, border width, and border color. We're gonna add a color for our text color and a font size. Let's define our base style, which we're gonna use basic default size of 30 pixels, default color for our placeholder, and background color. Setting to white. You can see if we're gonna set the background color to our color background constant, and the input will receive that style. So first of all, we define all the styles, and we're gonna use the destructuring S6 methods to get our style property and the rest properties. I'm gonna use the style sheet input default, as you can see. We'll add a padding, horizontal padding, using the base size, which will add a left and right padding for our input, and we'll add a height for our input using the base size multiplied by 3. Basically, the text will be in the middle, will be centered. So let's add also a border radius using the base size multiplied by 0.5, which represents 50% of the base, basically 7 pixels. You can see the corners are around it. Also, we're going to use the border width 5% of the base size, and use the text decoration color, set it to transparent, also the text shadow color to transparent, as you can see here. Let's set the width to 300 pixel fixed size, and as you can see, you can set it to 100, whatever value you like. But to make it more like a dynamic component, then we will use the width constant from the window dimension using the dimensions get window, and we're gonna set the input width to 80% of the screen or the device window screen. The 90%, 99%, almost 125, but for now we will stick with 80%. So next step is to set the type of our input. For example, we're going to use the email type. Basically, the type is what the keyboard keys are set to. Email will be email address. As you can see, the keyboard type. Keyboard type by default, it will include everything. The email address, you can see there is a key with the sign. So let's use the type constant, define the type constant, which will be passed to the TextInput keyboard type property. And let's use the numeric, the number pad. You can see only numbers. Decimal will include the dot or comma. The numeric is identical with the number pad. Font pad, let's see the font pad. Font pad will include the plus sign, asterisk, and ds. Basically, what you need to input phone number. So, visible password. This need to be tested on an Android, but right now we have iOS. Let's set a property of password, which will hide what we type in the input, will hide the value basically. So let's see the password property. If secure text entry is set to true, then we'll obscure the text value. This is only the placeholder. As you can see, you can write everything here. So your password. Please guess that. Let's test it with the multiple line. See, it will not hide the value, but if it's set to multi-line true, we're gonna use the custom property named password, when we're gonna insert password. We'll define the password, and the secure text entry will receive true or false if it's used in our component. By the way, now we can use the Android device. As you can see, the underline color for Android, we need to set it to transparent to make it more cross-platform look. So nearby. You can also use the clear button, auto check, auto. For now, let's set the success and error properties. Basically, we will have success border and color, or an error with specified colors. For success, we're gonna have the success color, and for error, we're gonna have the border color, or set to color error. Green one and red one. It doesn't show because we set it to our background to green, but let's set it to light green, to DD or CC. Success. It's very subtle, the border width, so let's set our border width to something much convenient. So as our inputs are stacked on each other, we need to add margin vertical, basically a top and bottom margin. Right now we are setting the border width. As you can see, much better now. So if we have a password and you need to validate that password,